But it begins this way. It begins with hello, this is Carrie O'Donnell from Tarot Soul Writer. And if you would like a personal reading with me, well, there's been a couple changes. So you will see on my website, tarotsoulwriter.com, if you go to book a reading, you will find that I don't have any appointments available. I've been booking about 4 months in advance, 3.5 months in advance. I know I had started booking in November. Honestly, I've been taking a step back because I just need, my energy has been a little low. I think this could be everything that's been going on politically, just reassessing where I'm at. I need a little break, I guess, from personal readings. And because of that, I've adjusted my schedule in November. So I am doing personal readings. I will be doing them in a smaller window and maybe not as many each week. So what I'm doing right now is resetting. So instead of booking 4 months in advance, I'm only booking about 30 days in advance. So it's going to take until about October for readings to become available again. So when we get closer to that time, we'll see what's going on in the world and in my life, just in case I have to make any other adjustments. And I will tell you when you can book a reading again. Now, as far as my tarot soul writing classes, I still have some room in my summer session. All you have to do is choose a topic that you're interested in, go to book a tarot soul writing class, follow the instructions, and join the group. We've been having some great readings. Even last night, we read on Harris Walz. It was awesome. So if you would like to join us, you don't need any experience. All you need is tarot cards, pen and paper, and an open mind. And please join our group. Now, let's get down to business. First, I got a new t-shirt.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I'm speaking. This thing's awesome. I love this shirt. So I have to get a few more. And I got your questions. There were a few questions that were posted on my community board. I feel like that's the place for me to do questions. Before I start, just hey to Cindy. For those of you who were not aware, Cindy is on vacation this week. She is with her family. She had a birthday. So I think we should all say, happy birthday! Yeah, happy birthday, Cindy. A little belated, but I hope you had a great day. Let's give her all warm wishes. She certainly deserves the break. I don't really feel like doing spilling the tea without Cindy anymore. It's just not the same. I thought I'd get myself on here and answer some of these questions. So let's start with the first one. Will the U.S. ever have universal health care? Let's take a look. All right, so for the answer, I do believe yes. The U.S. is going to have a form of universal health care. Maybe we shouldn't say universal. Maybe that's the problem. It's like something better than what we have right now with Obamacare, with government insurance, but not quite universal in the way Europe has the system. There seems to be something, what I'm getting here is half and half with the Sun card reverse. Almost like a compromise, a sense that we're happy, it's better than what we have, but not quite what we wish for. And it starts with a lot of practical energy. One could say even foolish energy. People don't want to take risks with the economy. By people, I mean people with money. There's slow growth here. And that could be where we are now, some sense of we're slowly thinking about this system. There were a lot of ideas in the past with the 7 of Cups, but I've actually pulled this one reversed. So there is some sense that we have to get practical now. You know, we have to have a a plan that moves us into the future slowly, incrementally toward this goal. This is practical. This is something that's needed just economically for the US economy in general, is what I'm feeling. But like I said, there's a lot of greed here with the devil. I think there's still going to be a lot of people in America who want to profit off the healthcare system. And that's why there is some sort of compromise or half and half for workers, okay, for working people. So this could be maybe the government takes care of basics, but if you want something better than just minimal care, then you're going to have to put in your own money. It could be something like that. But the guides assure us that there is going to be a lot of emotion behind this issue and also some abundance coming with the baby angel. Okay. So it's like, you know, people are really emotional about this issue, and there are some good things coming with healthcare, but we're at the real womb stage. I can't even say this is beginning. This is like we're at the conception stage, really, like of the idea of trying to get this going. So maybe this is something that the Harris Walz ticket will eventually bring into fruition to really and seriously make a plan. But yeah, I do feel eventually it's going to take a little while. We're going to have something much better and more accessible than what we do now. All right. What do you see for Kyle Rittenhouse's future? He has several civil lawsuits pending. Like, seriously, why are we even talking about this guy? But let's take a look at his future. Like we thought, things are not going to be good for Kyle Rittenhouse's future. You got Wheel of Fortune here, so there is karma or destiny here. The wheel is moving forward here. He may have had good fortune in the past. That's another way I can read that card. I do have the 9 of Wands reversed. He's sort of kicked off confinement, so he's not going to be jailed. So that might be that good fortune or that sense of the wheel turning in his favor at that particular time. But he's vulnerable. Okay, it's like I can also read that card as vulnerability right now. And he was used. No one really has his back, not even his own family. Then I have that Sun card reversed, arrogance and ego. And I get sort of the eclipse of the sun kind of moment for him, sort of when the darkness or the shadow covers the sun. And the ending is just not positive. We do have karma coming back. Karma's coming around for him. We have violence and impulsiveness and anger. I feel like Kyle Rittenhouse, I mean, civil lawsuits aside, I don't think those are going to go well for him. But I feel like ultimately he's going to do something again. There's something here about impulsiveness or anger or doing something violent out of emotion. There's something in him where something can still happen to him again. So he could do something else that might land him in jail. There is judgments coming for him. So this might be his civil lawsuits that are pending. Judgment is coming for him. There are going to be losses for him with the minus card. This could be financial losses. And then you've got here again, losses, right? 9 of Swords, sadness, depression, anxiety, and with the wrists tied, possible confinement. Now, again, that might not be obviously a result of the civil lawsuits, but I kind of feel that over the course of time, he could get himself in jail, for example, for a completely different thing. And then, of course, they give me the card, no. What do you see for Kyle Rittenhouse's future? No. It's almost like he doesn't have much of a future. It's sad. He was used, but he did what he did. And just because the courts weren't just doesn't mean justice in a universal sense isn't coming for you. It always does. And it's coming for him too. Hey, what's the future of allegedly bot farms that are spreading misinformation. And I do believe this viewer had mentioned some things going on in India and other parts of the world. So what is the future, allegedly, of these Russian bot farms? Okay, I am getting the Lover's card underneath the situation of bot farms. So I don't think this is just Russia. I think these Russian bot farms have partnerships with either another nation or another group. Could even be an American group, or I don't know. I don't know if this is oligarchs. I don't know who this is, but there is a partnership here. It isn't just Russia for entertainment purposes only. I'm getting the Knight of Rods. There is something impulsive. Talk about impulsive coming up, like a mistake or something that they do that they didn't think out. There is something here that I think is going to get them in a little bit of trouble or get a spotlight put on them. The Chariot is here. It might be, I know this is weird because I know this is victory. You know, what's the future? Maybe they're moving ahead to victory. And maybe that's true for a little bit of time. Maybe this misinformation situation is like a runaway horse, as this card implies. I'm also getting a war feeling here. So this thing that is done impulsively or without thinking things out might have something to do with the actual war or with a war somewhere out there in the globe. Maybe that's what puts a spotlight. Maybe this is Ukraine. And there's something that's putting a spotlight on them because they're interfering with war situations. I am getting dark money here at the end. But I do get, this is my card for things being revealed. Like they're not comfortable anymore. Things are revealed. We figure out who they are. Like I said, the spotlight's on them. And look, in the deck of characters, I have the naked man. You know, there's something being revealed here. There's a vulnerability, and it's related to the dark money or the partnership, right? Because we had gotten there's some sort of a partnership. This has got to be big money, oligarchs, world oligarchs, some other group that's behind the bot farms. They're being revealed. There's some good news here. Okay, there's some good news. And I feel like mother's in tears. I think this is Mother Russia. Mother Russia has some tears here. Maybe this is the fall of the government in Russia. Maybe that's part of the war that I'm getting that's revealing them or putting a spotlight on what they did. And that could very well be. It could be when things are starting to not go well in Russia or when the war is not going well. All of a sudden, spotlights on them. So I would say they're still going to be doing some damage until Putin is not in control. And I think from there's going to be a spotlight put on these people. They don't like the spotlight. They're like cockroaches. When you shine a light on a cockroach and it's like, runs off. It's something like that. And I think that's when things will get a little better. All right. Would you look at Don Jr.? He seems to be on a downhill spiral. Don Jr. See what's going on with him. All right. This is what's going on with Don Jr. This always amazes me. But my first card is the Chariot and the Four of Wands. There is a sense of victory for the White House is what I'm getting here. He thinks he's going to win. We're moving forward. We're going to take the White House. Hooray! Like, seriously, dude? Like, what is going on with you? Like, this is so far from reality, but I do get a sense that he really feels they're moving forward to victory. And then he knows, I want to start with this before I go to the ending. He knows there's the watchdog and the circus, which is drama. Like, his life is a three-ring circus. And the master. This master card can often, be about mastering our own spiritual wellness, our own selves, becoming the master of anything, right? But that's not how I'm reading it, because I have the watchdog, the circus, and the master. So it's like he knows that there are people watching all the craziness they've done, all the shenanigans, and his dad, who is his master. That's how I'm seeing it. The other way I can read this is the master is watching all the shenanigans. Who's the master? Well, we always knew that Trump was like the puppet and someone else was pulling the strings. So I say it's Russia, but we'll see. And then for the ending, it's like, okay, they're watching us. You can't go too nuts. But then we have judgment. Judgment is coming for Don Jr. But it begins this way. It begins with Jack Smith, the King of Rods, the man of good character. And he is coming for the King of Swords reverse. In this case, I think this is Trump. He is my card for the dictator, the abuser. He's coming for him. And Don Jr. is thinking, I need to get out of Dodge. This is a plan to go overseas, right? He's looking at his possibilities. If they got dad and the master is watching these shenanigans, we don't know what's going on there. I need to get out of Dodge. All right. He's looking at his possibilities. I think Don Jr. in the future will be thinking of escaping the United States before they start coming after him. I kind of feel like, when judgment comes from my dad, that's when he's like, okay, I'm out of here. In the meantime, he actually believes they're going to win. So he is in that situation. I'm not getting anything about alleged drug abuse or like that type of thing. It's more like his mind right now is dad needs to take the White House and I'm okay. And if he gets prosecuted, then I need to leave. That's his plan B. That's what I'm getting. All right. How will Chutkin run the Trump hearings? How will she run it? All right, let's see. All right, let's see. I kind of focused on how she would run the hearing. So I see that there's a lot of conflict, a lot of legal issues or shenanigans that are happening here with this Five of Wands reversed. There's something here about uprooting the money or uprooting or feeling like there's some vulnerability here. So I do get a sense that she's going to be finding the vulnerability with their arguments. That's kind of what I'm seeing. And since presidential immunity is part of what this is about, trying to figure out what the parameters are on that, I do believe that she is trying to find these legal vulnerabilities. She is looking to the future. She is looking at the long game. I do get that these criminals, okay, she sees them as criminals. And I'm this passive aggressive energy, this moon energy, the feminine energy, the subconscious energy. I'm just going to be here under the surface. And they're just going around in circles in the treadmill, like just walking in place. I believe that these arguments are things that she's heard before. She's just allowing them to be played out. It almost like with the treadmill, it's like a broken record. And she's just passively waiting while the treadmill is going around and around. She, in the end, makes a judgment. So judgment is in, I feel, our favor or against Trump. She is very secure in her position and very secure with what she knows is just and true. And she's very comfortable with the law. She understands the law. And it's like, I kind of take this as making some sort of a deal. I don't even know what this is, because that's not part of what if these are just hearings. But it's like, I'm being offered this information. I'm being offered these arguments, and I'm just like, whatever. Like, I get boredom with the Four of Cups. Like, I'm just going through the motions, like the treadmill. I'm going through the motions. I'm hearing them out, but I'm sort of this passive force underneath. I'm looking at the long game, the long-term future. And I am very secure that I am going to secure a judgment. So that's what I'm getting here. I think she's going through the motions. She has to do what she has to do, but she's not worried. I'm really excited about Kamala Harris's VP pick, Tim Walz. What do the cards say about their campaign and how the Trump campaign will handle their popularity? So let's take a look. This is really good. So I'm going to start with the Harris campaign, the Harris-Walz campaign. This is what they're saying. The country is divided, right? We're on two sides of a fence. But look at these next two cards, the star and the sun. But these two give us hope. They're giving hope that we can come together. There is a sense of, there is joy, there's happiness here with the sun. And the two of these are about the limelight and media. They're going to be media stars. So their campaign is really going to be out there and really burning up the media. And then ultimately, I get the Queen of Swords is reversed. First, this is something really funny here, because this can be the widow card or the divorced woman. And all I can think of is the childless cat ladies. Like, they're pissed. Okay, they're so angry. Women are angry. But I think that they're going to bring to the limelight all the issues that they're angry about and make them even more, make them like a force to go out there and just say, we're coming for you. I'm just thinking of like the latest thing that they did. They're calling Tim Walz Tampon Tim because he supported free menstrual products to middle school girls. Like, seriously? And that's going to work for you. So that's a good thing to do, because half the population are women, and many of us have had that middle school experience where you get your period and you didn't have something to use. How many girls were sent home from school? How many girls suffered humiliation and embarrassment because of that situation? How many girls couldn't afford products because they came from homes where there wasn't a lot of money, and the panic that ensued? I mean, because women aren't thinking, oh, this is a good thing. Yeah, Tampon Tim. How dare he give girls free products in their schools? Nobody's saying that. Nobody is saying that. That's how out of touch they are. So they'll take something like that and they're going to twist it around. Like, for example, Tampon Tim is already turned into a meme that says Tampon Tim is going to stop the red wave. Just saying, that's the kind of stuff they're going to do. And it works, because I get the dancing shoes. She's dancing in her tux, right? There's money pouring in for their campaign. They're on fire. They're on fire. Okay, so that campaign is taking off. Now, let's look at how the Trump campaign will handle their popularity. At first, they're trying to turn around their losses. So it starts somewhat optimistic, like, we have to turn this, and we have to turn it around. I know, let's call him Tampon Tim. See, the problem is they're idiots. All right, so you've got the King of Rods. There's no leadership. There's no good leadership here. Everybody's just doing what Trump wants, and Trump's an idiot. So you don't really have anyone in charge to create a good campaign or to create a good turnaround. The ideas are old, same script. We've been there before. right? And part of their agenda, this just cracks me up, is women to let's bash her. Let's bash her as a woman. All right. They're going to go after her sexuality. And she slept her way to the top because there's a sexual element to this card. That she has secrets in her background, that there are affairs, and you can't trust a woman like that. They're going to go down that road. That's going to be how they get at her. But this is the fact. We're going to walk away. People are disinterested. All right. They're not really buying it. And then what I get from the deck of characters, he's vulnerable. The naked man, he's vulnerable. He camouflage. I need to hide. I can't debate her. I need to hide. And blood, because they're seeing that I have blood on my hands, literally. The only thing that bothers me here, they could also have hidden violence here because of their vulnerability. And I don't mean the campaign in particular, but they could call for violence through their ad campaigns. They could use rhetoric in which people are hiding to do harm. That could be part of how they handle the popularity as well, like through fear. But mostly, I just get people walking away from that Eight of Cups. This is not going to work. These cards are horrible for the Trump campaign. And it makes sense. The only way that they can control this is to do harm to others or to steal the election. It's come to that. Okay, I am interested in how the Democratic convention will go for Kamala and Walz. Will all expected guests, attendees be there? So let's take a look. All right. We need to talk because before I had gotten, I think it was the last spilling the tea, I had gotten that there was some sort of chaos at the Democratic convention. It didn't stop the nomination. I still felt like Kamala was getting the nomination. I got a lot of flack on that, because everyone was like, pro Kamala, let's go. And that nothing would happen at the convention. And I guess it's true that I don't think this is about whether she gets the nomination or not. There was something else going on. So I was trying to speculate. I was thinking, is this the liberals who are not, like the Bernie Sanders people? Or is it, or is it the establishment Democrats? Is there going to be a little talk politics in which they're trying to work out their issues? But now, last night, we had a soul writing class where one of the participants got the Three of Swords, losses around Kamala, and feeling like she was all tied up after that, like there was some loss or grief. Three of Swords can be the heart, something with the heart. We couldn't figure it out. We were trying to interpret it a number of ways, but it wasn't until I literally got back, and I hope it's okay that I'm not mentioning anyone's names, but a viewer emailed me and said that this person got a hit that maybe Walz might be having heart issues. At the very least, this person wanted me to look into it, but at the very least, this person was feeling that there might be some sort of chaos at the convention. And this person thought maybe someone would pass either right before the convention or during the convention. And that's why this person was worried. Being that I had just gotten with the class, the Three of Swords, I started to get a little worried. I did see in August in the 2024 predictions that there would be some prominent people who would be passing. At least one of them was a political person, at least, maybe more. And Spirit said it happens in threes. It seemed to begin in August. Now I'm getting a little worried because I'm seeing something similar in these cards. So I do not predict death. I don't usually get that information, but I do feel like someone may be having a health event that could potentially lead to passing or going to the next world. And that might be upsetting the apple cart a bit at the convention. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm going to show you the cards and you can tell me if it's something else. But I'm starting to feel like maybe this could happen. The first thing I'm getting in the tarot is first, Kamala and Walz are going to victory, right? No problems there. The convention is going as planned. All right, they're moving to victory. Here she is, the Queen of Cups, which is weird because usually she's the Queen of Wands, but maybe in this particular case, there's some sense that she is giving hope and emotion and love and compassion at the event. But then I'm getting the Five of Pentacles. This can be people who are left out in the cold, like the poor people or the disenfranchised people. So there could be issues around that maybe come up at the convention, but it can also be a card for illness. And then I'm getting a man here. And he is usually the man of good character, a man of good leadership. And he's reversed. He's the King of Wands. And he is next to this illness card. Now, it could be something like, all right, Bernie Sanders, he's a man of good character. He is standing up for issues of the poor and the destitute. Maybe those issues, there's a little ruckus because, in the convention, they're not paying attention or they have to negotiate some policies as part of the platform for these issues. Or what I'm getting here is that a man in the Democratic Party could be having a health event. And I shouldn't even say that because this could be a man in the Republican Party that has a health event and that affects the Democratic Convention or the success of the Democratic Convention. So it could actually go both ways. I looked at some of the clarifiers. They don't quite reach their bullseye. It's like we're moving to success, but there's some interruption here where we just can't hit this convention home in some way. I am getting the black card, which could be, it can be a death. It could also be just like a black mark or some darkness in some way, something unknown that's kind of getting in the way of them really saying we hit our bullseye with this convention. And then I am getting the Earth, which is interesting. For me, this is an Earth card or being grounded. So I looked at the deck of characters and I get the house, resurrection, and the graveyard. Resurrecting the dead in the house, resurrecting the dead in the house, or is it that someone is passing from the White House? Or is it someone passing in the Democratic House? I don't know. See, because I don't read death, but these cards are not looking good. Resurrecting something they thought was ended. Is that something to do with the nomination? Like we thought they had this sewn up, but then something from the past comes up? The only thing that makes me feel like there could be an unexpected passing that interrupts the Democratic Party a bit is only because of the information we got in the class last night and the random viewer who emailed me and also said they were getting some sort of a hit. If I put that together with information that already came through, plus these cards, all I'm going to say is expect a little bit of chaos at the convention. This in no way has anything to do with Kamala and Walz and their nomination. I feel like this is an outside distraction, but it could kind of put a twist on the convention where the convention doesn't quite hit its target the way it intended. It has to switch things up. It's going to change its tone. It's going to, that type of thing, because it may have to deal with the issue at hand. So we'll see. And maybe I'm totally wrong, but we'll see. And if you have any other interpretations of those cards, or if you've had any hits yourself, you can put them below in the comments. All right, what do you see for Trump's people? Are they going to fight or go away embarrassed? Let's take a look. All right, are they going to fight or go away embarrassed? First, the truth of Mother Russia is coming out or will come out to them. They will learn the truth. It's all going to be laid out to them. Their first reaction is silence. And in this moment of silence, and you might even notice this if you have friends or family who are Trump supporters, their first reaction is shock or silence, or I don't even know what to say. They feel bulldozed. They're like, what? Like, what just happened? I do get an element of shock here. I'm getting the bed. And I get that saying, you made your bed, now lie in it. There are going to be a few, or maybe this is the flack they're getting. Like, we warned you, blah, blah, blah. You know, you made your bed, now you got to deal with it. You lost your power. And maybe that's part of the silence, because there might be a backlash of ridiculing Trump supporters at this time. But there is help here. Okay, the angel's here. And when I get my Five of Swords reverse, sometimes that can be about repairing the situation. It's going to take some time for them. I do get the watchdog here. So I think there is an element of paranoia. I think this is about shadow work, the watchdog. Man, I mean, you made your bed. Now you have to lie in it. In this silence, it's like so much shadow work that they're doing. Some people are going to come out the other side. They will be embarrassed. And I think you're going to see a variety. One of the things I'm not getting is a huge fight. I'm sure there will be those who fight to the end. But I think if I look at the grand scheme of the energy, there are going to be people who turn around, who get help, who turn to their family, who apologize. Yes, there's embarrassment involved, but they're saying this is a shadow work lesson for most of them. So that's what I'm getting. All right, and we will go to our final question. Are we moving into the healing state of our spiritual evolution as a collective? The healing state of our spiritual evolution. Have we unearthed all of the underbelly of the USA that Trump was meant to expose? All right. Are we moving to the healing state? Have we uncovered the darkness in US? All right. So I wish I could be more optimistic that we've unearthed all of the underbelly, but the cards are indicating no. We've really just touched the surface of this. We've begun the process. What I am getting is, first, there's a new beginning in the White House. Okay, so I'm still getting Harris Walz winning. All right, so that ticket, there's going to be a sense of practical energy, getting our heads out of the clouds, because this would be illusion and delusion. We have begun to erase that illusion and delusion, and we're focusing on what is. So reality is starting to become a thing. So that's important, because that's part of when we've unearthed things. Obviously, there was a lot of illusion and delusion. This could even be working on the media, for example, and trying to get truth and facts to the people to make good decisions. But the shadow with the sun reverse is still there. It's still there. There's still the underbelly. I'm also getting that with the whole. All right. So there is still this. I get lots of emotion here. Lots of emotion about the issues that are uncovered. And there's grief here. Grieving. I guess part of healing is grieving what was and moving forward. But I guess we are at that loss and grieving state. You know, who are we? What can we be? What have we lost? There's losses here. We have 2 cups left. So what that says to me is when Trump unearths the underbelly, there's damage. There was damage these last years. Things that are going to be really hard to repair it, and some things that are never going to go back to what was. And we have to deal with that. So I guess as a collective, we're in that sort of grieving state, dealing with our losses, trying to figure out how we can move ahead, trying to figure out what the truth is. And then they say, you know, the people are upside down. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take time to really evolve and to really heal. The no card is reverse, which kind of says, you know, you're at the beginning of the healing state. You know, you haven't quite got there yet. You're starting that. You have to make some decisions to get to that point. And they do say, I get that house again. And then I get the world. And then I get the elves, the helpers. So the world is going to help. You know, we could say the White House or the people, or people are going to help regular people connect with what's really going on in the world. Yes, we are at the very beginning of our healing state, but we're not quite there yet because we have to make a choice. We have to choose this. We have to choose victory in the White House, which, yes, we are on the road to do that, but it's not done until it's done. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm saying we predict things aren't going to happen, and then we have to make them happen. This has to happen first, and there's still going to be shadows there. There are going to still be greedy people in America. There's still going to be oligarchs pulling the strings. So it's just not going to change overnight. There's more over time that will be exposed, but this is an evolution, okay? This is the beginning of the changes. So that's what I'm getting with that. So thank you, everybody, for viewing my show. As always, I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with all your friends. Remember, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. And most importantly, don't forget to register to vote. Let's get out there. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.